Welcome to Natural Living. I'm Renee Miller. I created this show to open a door into the world of natural lifestyles that help us achieve a sense of balance and well-being. Join us as we talk to people whose professions encourage us down the road to a happy life. Fundamental concepts in living a natural lifestyle is learning to eat well. Yes, it is very tempting to have a big sweet sticky bun in the morning for breakfast, but we all know how that makes us feel later. Most of us realize at this point that what we eat has everything to do with how our health is and how we feel on a daily basis. And that is why we're going to start off this natural living program with our favorite topic, food. Our first guest is Dave Purpura today. He is from Plato's Harvest in Middleborough, Massachusetts, and he runs an organic farm there along with his wife, Sasha. Welcome, Dave, to the program.
Thank you.
Dave, before we get into the specifics of your farming operation, can you just tell us generally what's the difference between organic farming and conventional farming?
Essentially, organic farming deals more with building the health of the soil, and we believe that by growing healthy soil, we'll grow healthy crops that will be more resistant to pests and weed pressure and a more nutritious product in the end.
Oh, great. That all sounds good. Is there any way that the county or the state licenses organic farms, or is it just that you say it's an organic farm, so it is?
Well, at this point, actually, the federal government controls the term and the concept of organic farming, so there's actually a regulatory body and a certification process and a whole list of regulations and rules that specifically we have to follow and account for.
I see. So is there someone constantly coming out to the farm making sure that what you say you're doing you're actually doing, or is this a yearly inspection, or how does that work?
Well, not constantly. We do have it's an annual that you have to reapply for the certification. So, and at that time, that's mostly paperwork. So you have to provide, a paper trail of all the inputs that you've used over the past year, the seed purchases that you've made. You have to document everything that's used. There's also an annual inspection by a human being that comes out and does a physical inspection, first of your record keeping, but then of the property itself, and just keeps everyone on their toes.
Sounds like a lot of work. I'm a member of what's called a CSA, and this is a method by which you directly distribute the food to your consumers. Can you tell us a little bit about what is a CSA? What does that stand for, and how does that work?
Sure. CSA, the acronym stands for Community Supported Agriculture, and it's basically a different model of delivering the produce that we generate to the public. And it's so essentially people buy up, they sort of purchase a share in the farm, and they do this early in the season before harvest has begun. They sign up to purchase a share for 20 weeks during the summer. They come out and they get their share of whatever is in season that week.
Do you weigh the food and distribute it according to weight or numbers, or how does that work?
Okay, well, we say that our CSA share should feed a typical family of four, and so it's always hard to know exactly what a typical family of four is.
So if you have a big meat eater and someone who's a vegetarian, that's going to be a very different type of how long that will last for them is going to be different.
Yeah, and even if people go to the effort of actually cooking their meals, staying home and cooking meals,
Right.
And so the way the season generally works here in the Northeast is that the first few weeks they're receiving lots of greens and peas and sort of early spring products, and the shares generally tend to be a little lighter. And as the season progresses, they usually the share size and variety usually increases till, you know, summer they're big fat bags of tomatoes and potatoes and whatever else, and then as we move into the fall season, they get more of their storage crops, which is still a pretty fat share, but you know, the variety and quantity tends to go down again. For the first season, shareholders are always kind of surprised.
Holy cow, look at this.
Look at that!
They're not sort of aware of the rhythm of the farm in this part of the world, and so I think by the second season they know what to expect at different times. But I don't really give them a heads up about what they'll be getting the following week. But when they show up at the farm that week, yes, we have a board that we put up, and it explains, you know, you get so much of this, and this, and a lot of that stuff we harvest and wash and pack and sort of have ready for folks to put in their bag. But a lot of it is also, you know, we just put up, you get 5 pounds of potatoes this week, and so you have your selection of these bins of potatoes, and they take and choose what they like from there.
So everyone goes around and collects the food for their family for that week.
Well, all CSAs are run differently. This is how we do ours. We don't pack a box and put your name on it. We give you a little more hands-on input into.
So you can feel like you're part of the farm too. You're actually
like you're
gathering the food.
And in fact, we also have at the distribution site, which is at the farm, folks can go out and do a lot of pick their own vegetables. So
nice.
So we do things like peas and beans and a lot of herbs and cherry tomatoes and the things that are kind of tedious for us to pick for 50 or 60 folks for, but they can go out and spend 10 or 15 minutes or a half an hour with their kids and feel like they're...
Oh, that's a good point. So it's a family affair. You can bring out the entire family to go collect groceries, if you will.
Definitely.
Yeah, better than going to the grocery store.
Yeah.
It's a family outing, kind of more fun.
Yeah, and the whole sort of concept of the CSA, part of it is around sort of education and reintroducing people to their food supply and getting their hands in the dirt a little bit. And it's also part of the whole, you asked about the organic certification process. That's a big part of keeping us honest also, right? It's about people getting out and knowing their farm and seeing what actually goes on there.
There is something